Thank you so much for joining my YouTube channel. If you like these videos, please click like and subscribe. And if you click the bell, you'll be notified of future videos when they're uploaded. So I'm going to ask the question today, does it look like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry will be getting divorced and I always like to put a timeline on these questions, because if you don't, it could go out, they could be married 25 years and get divorced. Well, who cares about 25 years out? So I usually do not go past a year, very rarely. So this is for the year of 2020. Does it look like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, that's my question, does it look like they will be divorced? So the first thing as a numerologist is I look at their numerology. Now, the interesting thing that I learned is that royals don't really have last names. They have a bunch of first names and then usually a location or a name of a castle. Actually, I don't know a whole lot about royals and the royal family. I don't know. So what's drawing me into doing these readings is Meghan Markle. For some reason, Spirit came to me and spotlighted her on me that I need to pay attention. And so that's, Meghan Markle is where my focus point is. However, since she's married to Prince Harry, I am going into that route and considering that. However, when I did her numerology chart for just her and I went to do Prince Harry and discovered there's not really last names and you can't really use cities or names of places or titles in numerology. So that made it a little more challenging. So for Harry, he also goes by a name that's not really his name. So this makes it really interesting. And I'll tell you what, from Prince Harry, I feel like he has an identity issue. So he was born Henry Charles Albert David, whatever, Sussex or whatever location or whatever Sussex is. And they call him Harry. So I feel like he's got some identity issues that he is struggling with, and that's why, and I see that actually manifesting in his life. He doesn't know where he belongs. What's his role in this royal family? I see that, and it makes sense from a numerology standpoint that he would be having that challenge. So Rachel, one of the things that we notice here is Prince Harry was born Henry Charles Albert David, and then whatever that last name is, and they call him Harry. Rachel, or Meghan, was born Rachel Meghan Markle. She goes by her middle name, not her first name. There's an identity issue. Whenever someone does that, there's an identity. There's something going on with their identity. And so this is really interesting to me to look at the numbers of this, because both of these people have identity crisis type situations or issues or challenges, if you want to say. So what I did is break this down. Rachel actually starts with a 9. Meghan starts with a 4. Markle starts with a 4. Henry is a 7, and so is Harry. So he stayed consistent with his 4. So her date of birth is 8/4/1981. She has a 4 life path. And one of the things that is interesting is going into 2020, you add the month, the day, and the current year. 2020 is a 4, and you come up with a 7. Well, that is a very lonely number. 7 is one of those numbers that they need alone time. They can't stand to have every day, everybody in their face. It just doesn't work for them. So I knew already that this was going to be a challenge for her to be in the royal family with in the year 2020, because she's going to want to be alone. And this is what's happening, is they're going off by themselves, and that's very interesting. I'm getting that. I forgot to put his life path in there. So happily, Harry has a full date of birth, and I can work mostly with that. So I don't really have to do a whole lot with the name, which is kind of, a good thing. I'm just double checking my life path. Okay. So here is what I found also interesting is Prince Harry is a 1 in 2020. And how did I get that? It's 9 plus 1 plus 5. And then any number that is above 9, you reduce it, because the numbers are 1 through 9. So if you want to learn this system, it would be 9 plus 1 plus 5 plus the 4 of 2020, which gives you the number 19, and 1 plus 9 is 10, and you ignore the 0. So he's in a 1 year, another lonely. This is different lonely than 1, but both of them have numbers of being single or being alone or away from each other coming into 2020, which is very interesting. So number-wise for compatibility, the 4 with the 6, that works. And the personality of being a 6 and the personality of a 3, that works. He's got a life path of being 1. So with a life path 1, it could normally be hard for him to have relationships, but he's a 6. He wants to have one. He wants to have a relationship. That's what is in his heart. He wants to raise children and nurture. He's a 6-6. I mean, he when he's balanced, if he stays balanced in his numbers, he can be very nurturing. But he does have this loner, number 7 of the first letter of his name. He does have kind of a loner quality, and his life path is kind of a loner. Now hers is a 4 life path, and that's all about making a difference, planning things out, making a difference. She's got a lot of 8 energy here, which can be overwhelming to people. 8s can be overwhelming. So that being said, their numbers are pretty compatible, but they're going into years where it could be lonely and single make it easier. The numbers, their personal year numbers could make it easier for them to be apart. Let's just put it that way. Archie, he starts with a 1. So he's already, that tells me that he's going to have a strong connection with Harry because of the 1 and Harry's life path 1. So I think Archie and Harry are going to be tied together and have an important connection. Now Archie was also born on the 6th. Harry is a 6, so that makes them very compatible, and compatible with Meghan having the 4. So with Archie, he's a 5 life path. So, and he has a 5 in that Archie name and a 5 in Harrison. He's got 1 5. So and then he's born in the 5 month and life path 5. So life path 5 tells me that he came into the world under somewhat upsetting conditions, because those born with a 5 life path, they're the freedom. He's going to be a rule breaker. They don't follow rules, standards. They don't do what society tells them to do. But he does have a great leadership ability here. But the 5 month that he's born of will make him unpredictable. And the 5 life path will make him unpredictable. But his 6 that he was born on, and the 2 personality will make him very sweet. He will be sweet, loving, kind. So he'll be all of those things. Now, his 2020 is a 6. So all Archie wants to feel as a baby or a child is a family. So he just wants to have a family. That's his vibration. Keep my family together. That's what the baby would be like. He wants to feel like he's part of the family. That's what he wants to feel. So now we'll go to the tarot cards. Now that we've looked at the numerology, and we'll see what the tarot cards have to say about this. And I don't have a filter for royal family issues. So sometimes when tarot readers are really closely connected to something, such as the politics in the United States, it's hard for me to read on that because I have to take my filter completely off, which is hard to do. So I don't have a filter for the royal family at all. I've really never followed it until all of a sudden Spirit put Meghan Markle's name in front of me, and so I've just been doing readings on her. So I'm going to ask the cards, does it look like Meghan and Harry will become divorced during the year of 2020? So I'm going to pull 3 cards out of the Robinwood deck. Here's card 1, and here's card 2, and here's card 3. Now, you guys know that I read from more than one deck, so I'm going to also pull 2 cards from this deck. Are Meghan and Harry going to be divorced during 2020? And I'm going to pull 2 cards from this deck. And then I'm going to grab a 3rd deck, because this can be I have a feeling this is going to be very complicated. Are Meghan and Harry going to be divorced? I asked this to each separate deck that I have. And I'm going to slap down a couple of cards here. There. Now, that's a lot of cards. We're going to start from the first pile. Card number 1. So here's Meghan, Queen of Pentacles. And she is focused on her needs. Now, I don't know if you can see in the cards, there's 2 rabbits there snuggling. She's really wanting to have a snuggling or loving type of relationship with someone. And she's really focused on something. See the pentacle? She's very focused on something. Card number 2, the Star, her hopes and dreams. So she's not faced toward them. She's faced away from her hopes and dreams. So she feels like her hopes and dreams are not possible. She's not even looking at them. Like, I don't know where my life is going because I can't do my hopes and dreams. I can't, like, her own path isn't there right now. And she, oh wow, this is weird. Both of them have a foot going into the water. A foot going into the water. So she has stepped into something new that she had no idea. And there is both of these, like this angel's juggling something, like trying to juggle something. And this person is pouring things out of different containers into the water. So she's trying to achieve a balance. And this is also about balance and moderation. She wants her hopes and dreams, but she's stepped into new waters and she's juggling. I mean, literally, she's juggling the decision that she made. This is the karma from this card is called the karma. So the decisions that she's made are coming back. The decisions that she's making are coming back. The karma card. So the karma card, I don't believe in a punishment system, but I do believe that for every action you take, there's a reaction. I don't know that it's a punishment system. Oh boy. Now we've got the Knight. She's got some anger. Knight of Swords. She's got some anger. A lot of anger. And when you have as many 8s as what she's got, and you're angry, that's not going to be good. That's never going to have a good outcome. So she's very angry. And the Knight also represents the royal family. She is very angry at the royal family. Oh gosh, we got another Knight, and it's another fire Knight, the fire. So Prince Harry is also angry. I feel like this is him coming into the reading as a Knight. This is a youthful person, not a king. I feel like he's a Knight. And that's the angry Knight. And then we've got the Hangman, which he doesn't know what to do. He feels like he's tied up. Like he's tied up. He doesn't know what to do. So here she is also feeling that she can't have her hopes and dreams. And he's feeling like he's tied up, dangling there. But he's fired up. He's also fired up. So how do we look at this from the standpoint of a divorce? Right now, I don't see any cards in here indicating that anybody's leaving. All right. So what I tend to look for on cards when I do a reading is somebody's getting divorced is usually like there's a separating, there's something going on in the card to separate, or the 8 of Cups where somebody's leaving, the 6 of Swords where somebody's moving away and leaving. I don't see anybody leaving in 2020. And so I will go to another deck. This is the Robinwood. And I'll pull some cards indicating, are they going to have just a separation? Are they going to separate in 2020? Because this is like there's a lot of anger. There's a lot of fire energy. She's like, I can't have my dreams. He's like, I don't know what my role is. Both of them, they don't know what their role in these 2 Knights. They don't know what their royal role is. So are they going to become like legally separated or separate during 2020? So I'm going to ask it a little bit different way. So there's the Crabby. This is the Crabby card. And this is staying together for the child. So I'm going to say that during 2020, during the year 2020, they're not going to be happy. You're going to see a lot of crabby faces. Spirit's going to offer them an opportunity to do things differently. It'll be interesting to see if they take it. There's an offer coming in. Now, this could be the royal family saying, here, we're going to give you this offer. They're not happy with it. This is not a happy person under the tree. They're not happy with this offer. But it does look like they're going to put the child first, that they're going to put the needs of the child first. And this is the happy card, the sun card, which I never read in a negative context unless it comes with a card that possibly could influence it. So this doesn't. This just means they're crabby. So I'm going to say for my prediction for 2020 is that they will not be getting divorced. They will not be getting separated. They're not happy, but they're staying together for that child. That's what I'm getting. So thank you for joining me on this reading, and I'd like to know your thoughts. What do you think? Do you see them separating? Is there something? Now, you might notice something in the cards that I didn't see, and it's going to be a struggle for them not to separate because both of them have lonely numbers going forward. So the cards are saying it's going to be hard work. Hard work is going to be the year of 2020 for them if they are going to stay together and try to make this work. It's not going to be easy for them at all.